Morning to all our guests who have come here this, to celebrate the World Mental Health Week that we are having. Today's title is Be Inspired. And welcome and good morning to Principal Ma'am Victoria de Lima, our students from classes 7 to 11. This World Mental Health Week, we stress on being inspired. Being inspired is something about how we can influence ourselves with positive things. It's something that can really make us look forward. And generally, it comes from a role model. Generally, it comes from a person who's already attained that place. The word inspire, the word inspiration is derived from the Latin word inspiratus, which means breathing life into something. So our panelists today are going to breathe life into all our students to give them a new meaning in the life they have ahead. Why is mental health so important? It is as important, it's a fundamental right to have good health, physical health as well as mental health. So we welcome all our panelists this morning that who are going to inspire all the students here today. I would love to introduce them. So if you could put your cameras on, students, you all also can put your cameras on. I would love to introduce Ma'am Maynol Rocky. She's a head coach of the senior women's national team. Ma'am, your camera, if you can just, it's turn it, rotate it. It's, yeah. So when I read her, the achievements she's already had is like a lot. But what I would like to say is just one thing, that she's an achiever of a kind. She has gone into another world, a world where I would think that it is just a man's world out there, but she made it through, and she's finally become the head coach of the senior women's national team. She's played in she's coached so many teams, international, national. They've been winners. They've got, like, I don't know, she must be having a cupboard full of, trophies. So we welcome you, ma'am. She's also very qualified. She's done so much of training. So we welcome you, ma'am, to this program today. Thank you so much for being here. We have Frederick Noronha. Frederick Noronha. Frederick, you're there? Yeah, okay. So if you can just put your camera on. Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So children, Frederick is actually, I feel like speaking in Brazilian because he was born in Brazil. Maybe I could speak in Portuguese. And he's a journalist. He's based in Sarigao right now. That's in Barbados. He's so active in cyberspace. Now, I don't know much about cyberspace, but Frederick sir will tell us a lot more on cyberspace. And he has a lot of, qualifications to his biodata. He's learned so much, and he's got a lot that he wants to share with you, especially about software, about technology, and about journalism at large. So we welcome you, sir, to this program. And yes, you are a source of inspiration to all our children today. Okay. Lester, we have Lester D'Souza, who's a musician. He is from Karantalam. He's a music teacher actually. He plays the guitar, the saxophone, and also he has something that is really beautiful. Lester, you can mute for 1 minute. It's very feedback. Let me introduce you then. So he's worked with so many important artists like Louis Banks and Sheldon De Silva and the legendary Braz Gonsalves, if you all know who's Braz Gonsalves. So he's really dabbled with all these musicians, and he's a stand-up comedian. So I'm sure he's going to make all of you laugh at the end of the day, at the end of this program. Welcome, Lester, to this program. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Now we have
Good
someone who will make
morning.
your stomachs growl and maybe rumble, and he's none other than Chef Kundan Jha. Now, Chef Kundan Jha has been a part of the Karma Group. Karma Group is like it's an organization, and he's been with them for the past 24 years. Right now, he's based at the Karma Royal Hathi Mahal. Hathi Mahal is a beautiful hotel down south. If you go Kavalos, you'll find this place there. And he has one strength, his versatility, his ability to use ingredients at hand to create dishes that are both nutritious and delicious. So, sir, Chef Kunanja, we welcome you today and please inspire us with your life. On this note, I have a little song for you as we start this program today. So, I'm going to share my screen just for 2 minutes. I hope you can see my screen. You can see my screen? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, clearly.
Okay. Sometimes it's easy to pretend the world keeps turning round and round. And why this going out of hand? I feel my life turns upside down. Give me hope, just a little bit of hope, a little comfort for my soul. And it's gonna be alright. Give me hope, just a little bit of hope. I know you're gonna take me home, and love will shine a light. In troubled times, we need a friend. We keep on waiting for better times. Help me, God, here I am, along with all my fears tonight. Give me hope, just a little bit of hope, a little comfort for my soul. And it's gonna be alright. Give me hope, just a little bit of hope. I know you're gonna take me home, and love will shine a light. What has happened to our lives? I see empty places, empty roads. We say a prayer every night, just waiting for a sign of hope. Give me hope, just a little bit of hope, a little comfort for my soul, and it's gonna be alright. On that note of hope, I wish to ask Frederick. So, Frederick, can you please enlighten everybody with your life experience? So, Frederick, hello? Yeah, yeah, yes.
to be here and to encounter your school. I guess you can hear me. Am I okay? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
we
are.
can.
Fine, thanks. In the next 15 minutes, I will be brief and I'll make a few bullet points. Okay, I don't want to take too much of your time or to bore you all, but I want to make 4 or 5 bullet points. See, every time, every period has a certain debate about it. So So for you all to understand our times might be a little bit difficult, but let me tell you one thing. When we were growing up in the 70s, our main concern was two things. We felt very obliged that we were privileged to get an education. So we felt that we had to give back something to society. And that feeling was very strong in those days. They used to say that it took 1 lakh of rupees to create a doctor. So the taxpayer was paying the citizen, the poor citizen also was paying 1 lakh of rupees to create a doctor. So that doctor or whoever it is had to give back to society. If you were a graduate, in those days we believed that only 2% of the state got access to higher education, 2% of the country. So that is true today also. Maybe the percentages are higher, but we have a dream of getting a job. That's the first point. The second point is that in our times, we were really concerned about getting jobs. So I went for typing classes 4 times after my SSC to make sure that I don't end up unemployed. And I got a job in a bank at the clerical level when I was 22 years old. And I started working in a newspaper when I was 19 years old. So all those experiences helped us, and they helped to shape us into becoming what we tried to become. When you look back, it looks as if there was some plan to our career and things like that. There was no plan to our career. The only thing that we did is every day do your best. Keep learning every day. Don't feel that you've ever stopped learning. Till 1 year back, I was answering exams. Okay, and I might still answer more exams if I get a chance. So in that sense, you have to take your career forward in whatever way you can. And you have to do something good for society while you are also fulfilling your responsibilities to yourself and your family. That's what I believe. I took this quote from Gandhi, which came up just a few days back during his anniversary. And it says that happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. And my advice to all of you all young people on this is only so much. Live your dream. Live your dream and be very confident in following your heart. So your parents may tell you, what is the point in going in for this line? Will you get enough money on it? Will you make a good living? Will you be able to afford things? My approach is different. If you follow your heart and if you are confident that this is the field you would like to do, please go ahead. So I want to tell you a small story here. When I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, we got access to some magazines from Britain, and in those days to get magazines and newspapers and books was very difficult. But some of our relations sent it to us, and because they were leaving Africa and all, you all would know your history in those days. No? Idi Amin was there, so all the Asians were sent home from Uganda. So they sent us these magazines, and I saw in one of those children's magazines there was a small competition to enter, and you could write a story and send it to this paper. So I wrote this story and sent it to one paper in Britain, and they actually carried it, and they paid me 50 pence. 50 pence is half a pound. In those days it was the equivalent of 7 rupees. It was a lot of money in 1972 or whatever. It was a lot of money. And I remember going to the bank, holding this piece of paper in my hand and thinking to myself, this is great. If you can make money from doing the thing you love, then what better way of living life. So in that sense, okay, I didn't think of how many 50 pence I would need to earn a living or whatever. I didn't keep those thoughts in mind. But I discovered that I love to write. I love to be creating in the written form, and that was my passion in life. So I joined newspapers at the age of 19. I worked in different places in Goa for a newspaper in Bangalore as a Goa correspondent. At the age of 32, I went freelance. So I always joke and say that I retired at the age of 32. But of course, retired not in that sense. I've been working, and when you work for yourself, it's much harder to manage and to somehow balance of things, because at the end of the month, if you don't work, you don't get a salary. So in that sense, I've been doing what I want to do, and I've enjoyed life so much that tomorrow if I had to die, like I would not feel bad that this is what I've done or this is what I've not done or something like that. So life is not about one major success story that you have. It is about a lot many small successes. There's no one great achievement that will make or break you, mostly. In some cases it may be like that, but in most cases it is a number of small achievements that you manage to do in that sense. I don't want to kind of say I've done this and I've done that, but I feel that in the online world uh, we have contributed a certain amount, and in terms of writing, my goal is to understand Goa myself and to help others to understand. Because as ma'am was saying, when my parents had migrated to Brazil and we came back when we were small kids, and we came to our home state and we suddenly realized that I could not even understand my own home state, okay, my own home state. So it was my mission to start understanding it and to start learning about it. And today I feel that in a small place like Goa, see, you can travel to any part of the world, and kids from Goa are quite smart and quite capable. You can travel anywhere and you can do anything and you can achieve a lot there. But there are certain things that if you are in Goa, only you can do it. If you don't do it, no one else will do it. That's what I'm trying to say. So in that sense, I'm not saying don't travel, don't migrate. By all means do it, but have at least, no, if not one foot, have one toe in Goa. Keep half of your, little bit of your attention on Goa. See what you can do, whichever part of the world you're in. Today with cyberspace, you can travel anywhere and do anything and achieve a lot, and still contribute to what your heart tells you to do. So as of now, my main contribution is to build networks online. So we have networks for musicians, we have networks for food related networks, growing food, we have networks for journalism. I'm involved maybe in about a few dozen WhatsApp groups, and earlier we had mailing lists, and there is something called GoaNet, which is now 26 years old. And this is not my work alone. This is work I do with other people. So in the online world, it's very easy for two, three people to come together, set up a group, take it forward, run it properly, make sure that there is no misuse of the group and that there is no infighting there. So all these things only you can do, and if you set your mind, see, you cannot change the whole world. I don't think that an individual can change large parts of the world. But if you set your mind that I will change this small part of the world, you can definitely do it. So please live your dreams. That's all my message for today. Live your dreams. Do what you feel like. You also have responsibilities to yourself, to your family, to your society also. That's important. And at the same time, try to maintain this balance so that there is no conflict in that sense between your work life, between your hobbies, between your sustenance and all these things. On this point, I almost ran out of time, but I'm happy to answer questions at any stage when ma'am says, maybe at the end or whatever. Thank you so much. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your life experience. Children, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for Sir Frederick? So we have our principal here, ma'am Vicky, and probably, ma'am, if you would like to address Sir Frederick and the rest right now, because I think he has some other commitments also, so he might want to lead.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. I can stay on. No issue. If you want to take it at the end to save on time, that's also fine by me.
So
No
you
problem.
can stay on. Is it okay? Fine. All right. So, children, if you all don't have any questions, we will go forward.
Frederick,
And
sir.
maybe next. Yes. Thank you. So next on the panel we
Do you
have
have the same
Ma'am
hybrid,
Maynol. I
sir,
already
with
told you a
you?
little bit about her, so now I'll ask Ma'am to speak. Sorry, Ma'am Maynol, can you take over, please?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. First of all, good morning, Victoria ma'am. Good morning to the rest of the panelists and to all the children who are there today in this meeting. And thank you, Elaine, for inviting me, first of all. I will just introduce myself. Who am I? Okay. First of all, I'm Maynol Rocky. Uh, I am from Vasco. I stay in Chikalam. Uh, I am at present the head coach of the senior Indian women's team. Yes, I was an ex-student of St. Andrews. Uh, yes, the journey in sports, yes, as she had already mentioned, it was difficult those years for a girl to take up sport because there was no job opportunities, there were no, what do you say, the money in there. But yes, I was interested. My parents were supportive, so I thought I'll take up football as a not as a career, but that was just in school time when I thought, okay, let me just play. So I just took up sports like that. But yes, a lot of hard work put in because I feel in Goa, the thing is like we have sports, we have music, we have dance, we have all the activities together. In my time, also, we have the same because my parents also wanted me to do other things than sport because they should think sports will not give me an income. It will not help me for my future. But it's not that. For surely, it's not that. But yes, I got a job uh, in Sports Authority of Goa as a football coach, but that was not in any sports quota. That was clearly my achievements, what I did in sports and my schooling. Yes, I will definitely highlight few things. I was an athlete before, and then I took up football as the sport which I loved because my brother was very interested. In the house, we always had a ball. My dad was working in Navy. My mom was housewife. So my mom never liked sport, and especially me doing it. My brother, she was like, okay, he can do it, but no, 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 you can't do it. But then my dad was, no, 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 let her get it. So the main cause my mother saying no to sport was because of my hair. I had long hair, so I had to cut them because I could not maintain them because of all that. So then my dad had to cut them, and then I had this short hair like boys. That was the main reason she didn't wanted me to take up sports, especially football. And then she should think that I will fall, get hurt. But that's part of your, thing. What earlier Federer also said: if you like something, you need to do that. Then I got into the football team of the state, got into the national team. I played for India. After that, I got into coaching career, and then slowly I went as a head coach. Uh, it is definitely difficult because it was a men's sport. Football was always known as a men's sport in India or in Goa. So for me, from Vasco, I was the only player when I was playing. But yes, slowly got into that and then played for the national team. People started knowing me. I coached in Vasco for many years. Now, at present, when I'm with the national team, I am not taking up any centers or any academies just because most often I'm traveling with the national team. So that was all about the national team. But yes, about sports, I will definitely mention. We only think like sports is like, okay, can we get a job or can we get? No, no, it's not that. I think children, you all should understand sports is not only for something what like if you think no can I make a future, it's not only that, it's for your good health, what you can have. Once you play, I know that you all get tired, but you see same time you all will be coming back and doing your studies. But I can understand due to this pandemic we were all stopped playing sport. But I'm sure in your locality, on your building, wherever you get little space, you don't need much space to play football. A little space where you have two players also will, you can start playing football or any game. It's not about football, you can play any game. Just keep yourself active, Yeah, and I'm very sad to say that now school is also online. So full time you all are sitting on the phone. Now it's phone is, I can understand, for education, but now it's phone is used for games and all that. So as less you can do this mobiles and computers after your school class is over, that will be good. Keep yourself active, I believe. And the main thing is, if you decide to be something, you need to work hard towards it. There is no substitution for hard work. This is a small quote. There's no substitution for hard work. Let it be in studies, let it be in sports, let it be in music, let it be in any field. So if you think, no, no, I need to do this, you need to work hard. As ma'am had already mentioned, you need role models. You don't have to really, if you really want to do it, you, at least in my time, there was no player. I didn't know any football women player. I just looked at my brother playing football and I started it. So then slowly, yeah, as Motwali, I was, under him as I was under him for coaching. Uh, so I was, that interest was there with me and I wanted to do something. So that was it. I will definitely mention I was the only female who has coached the Indian team. It was always coached by the men, which I didn't know, which I didn't know, which I didn't know that I was the first female. But when it came on the papers, I was like, yes, I was really working hard towards this, and that was the highest achievement what I can. But still learning, want to work hard more, and I need to. I cannot just sit home and say, "Oh, I've already achieved." No, no, I need to do it more and more. So I will tell all the children, just work hard to whatever you want to do. Any subject you like, you need to really sit, study. Same thing, if you like any sport, you need to go out, play, practice every day. You can't say Sunday is a holiday, let me take a break. But yes, Goa Sunday is a holiday, but then if you really want to do Sunday also, you can do your homework. So I will just say, go all out, children, if you want, and if you love something. And especially I know 99% children will love sports. So just choose any sport, not football, choose any sport and just do it. I just wish all the children who are there all the best. And if you have any questions, you can ask now, later. My number is with Elaine. You can take my number. At present, I stay in Baga, but nevertheless, I can come to Vasco once the school opens. I can come and meet you all personally. That's it. Elaine, if anything from any children wants to ask any question, or you want to go ahead with any questions, please.
That was lovely, ma'am. Thank you, sharing. Thank you for sharing. Is there any match? Just a question which came up to my mind. Is there any match that must be you have like a lasting memory because of something that happened? Any match that you?
Definitely, definitely. We were preparing for Olympic qualifiers in last 2019, but we had a tournament in India. So Nepal had traveled to India in March. Nepal had traveled to India in March, and Nepal defeated us. So that was like, the defeat, we could not take it. The children was bad. I was with a lot of questions which I had to answer. The media, federation, a lot of under pressure. We lost that match, and I think we lost with Nepal, like for the first time, and in India. So a lot of pressure. Next month we had to go to Nepal and play the SAF championship. It's South Asian, that championship what we were supposed to play. So we were playing finals. We defeated Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and all, and we had to play the finals with Nepal after losing a match 1 month before, and we had to play Nepal in the finals in Nepal. So it was very difficult for the girls and for me. So as soon as we entered the field, when I saw the crowd, there was 50,000 people on the stand, because Nepal has a red jersey and India has a blue. I could see only red jerseys all over the stadium, and so much of crowd, 50,000 people. My players were under pressure. I was under pressure. But yes, it was the finals and we wanted, and we were so, what do you say, eager to win it. And the girls did it. We halftime it was 1-1. Second half it was 3-1, and we won the finals, and we brought the trophy home. So that was a match what I cannot forget. My players cannot forget, and definitely if some players know here is because children were writing some SAF and all, they know the things. So yes, that was the match what when we defeated Nepal and we won the SAF.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Ma'am, do you still have that trophy with you, or you recycled it to something?
I didn't recycle it to something. I have like I'll definitely show you all my little collection of trophies. That trophies in the SAP in AIFF office. These are my small collections what I have of trophies all over, and definitely I will show you all some which which is unforgettable trophies what I have. Yeah,
Oh my God,
but
ma'am, I have to say that you are physically fit after watching so many.
anybody else? And last thing, what I say, girls should never think lesser, like you're less in any field. Girls, we are same, equal to boys. Things have been changed. There is no comparison, girls or boys. We're all same in sports.
Absolutely,
Anybody
ma'am. Thank you
else
so
wants
much.
to know?
Yes. That was a lovely experience you shared, and I think we could, like, we were getting goosebumps listening to you. I'm sure it must have really felt nice in that stadium and being a champion. Nothing more. I mean,
Yes.
that's incredible. Yeah. So
Thank
we'll
you.
go on to, yeah, thank you, ma'am. We'll go on to Chef Kundan Jha. You there?
Hi, good morning.
Yes, Chef. Over to you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello.
No,
Good
ma'am,
morning.
no, sir. I can hear you, but I can't see your face.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, clearly.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Kundan Jha. I'm the executive chef for Hathi Mahal Karma Resorts at Howlasi. Actually, I was born in Bihar and studied in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and different parts of India. Since my father was in central government job, every 2 years I was transferred to different states. So I studied different states and different schools, different boards, and when I was child, we used to travel by train. That time the flight was not there and this thing. So whenever we used to travel by train, every 1 hour, 2 hours, we used to get a good junction, like to have a proper refreshment and all. So from Kerala to Tamil Nadu, from Tamil Nadu to Andhra, so we used to get different taste of food and different types of food. So that inspired me a lot. Like, why should we also not have different types of food at home? I used to argue with my mom. Why don't you make bonda like Andhra, like this thing? Why don't you make dosa like Tamil Nadu? Why don't you make something aloo paratha like Punjab? So I was very much interested in the cooking field. Later on, I joined Calcutta IIHM and I did my hotel management from Calcutta. After that, I worked for Oberoi's and Taj in Calcutta, where I learned a lot of culinary skills from renowned chefs there. And my background was make basically Mexican food. I was very much interested in Mexican food, and later on Japanese food and all. And we were the only person in Goa to start a Mexican restaurant in Goa. That was a restaurant called Poco Loco in Baga, and it was quite doing well. But since our owner said no, we should be doing more on Indian. So we are in Indian this thing. We should focus more on Indian and Goan thing. But we are doing that also. About my journey, initially when I joined hotel management, the work was like 16 to 18 hours a day, every day. you know like if you join as a trainee in a hotel, from Oberai's, I went to Mumbai Raheja Group. I worked there for 2 years, and the work hours were 18 hours every day 18 hours. But that is very helpful. That 18 hours is not waste of your this thing. You learn a lot of things in the hotel and different types of cuisine and all. Then later in 1996, I joined Karma Group as a trainee chef. Now I am an executive chef of this company, or you can call me a corporate chef for this group. Whereas we have 12 resorts all over India and we have 45 resorts all over the world. And being a part of Karma Group, we have a hotel in Germany, England, Australia, Italy, Rome. So I was in Germany doing our food festival, Indian food festival, and it was a great success there. And a lot of people from Germany, they don't like spices, but I made sure that I make a mild and not very spicy food for them, like butter chicken and korma and all. That was a super hit there, and I was featured in the television and newspaper there uh, for my food festival in Germany. Later on, I went to Indonesia, where we have around 8 hotels there in Bali. We did an Indian festival there, and people went crazy about Indian food. So, thing is, our Indian food has got a lot of you know rich culture and rich this thing. We have to promote our Indian food, local food that way. And last year, when pandemic stuck everywhere, and 2 years back, we were the only hotel. We were catering for a lot of stranded Europeans. They stuck here. They could not fly back to them, and we were the only hotel in Goa working all around to cater them. And they were from England, they were from Africa, they were from Germany, and all. To cater them their food, it's a difficult, challenging job, but still we managed to give them whatever they wanted and make sure that the stay was comfortable enough. My advice to a student is that initially 4 or 5 years, once you start in any field, it will be struggling time, but that's the main part of your life. You have to devote that thing very, you know. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, I can hear
Yes.
you. Yes.
Some mic problem here. Okay. So that's my journey all about. Started from different parts of India, and I like very much Goan food. I do a lot of vindalus, chicken vindaloo, pork vindaloo, beef, everything. Sakuti and all is my favorite. But also I do burritos, fajitas, and enchiladas, and Mexican thing. And I want to invite all of you students to my hotel for one weekend, spend time with us, be our guest, and I'll be happy to serve you all different themes of different cuisine. So maybe you can come in batches around 50-50, or maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and definitely I will try to meet each and everyone, and definitely I would like to, you know, meet you all once again. Thank you very much. Any queries, please?
Sir, I had a question.
Okay.
Sir, did you narrate this whole story when you were narrating this whole story, were you sitting in Poco Loco in some other shop?
Sorry, Poco Loco was a restaurant in Baga.
Yes, sir, were you sitting over there or you were in some other shop now?
Shop.
No, no, it was a restaurant. It was not a shop. Poco
Oh,
Loco was a restaurant. We have our same properties there in Baga. That name is Monterio now. But we have closed the Poco Loco because the demand is more of Indian and Goan food.
So I have a
Yeah.
question, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So which is the most famous dish, sir, which you have ever made?
See, I specialize in Mexican food. I make fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, and all. So my favorite is Mexican food. But whatever you like, please do come here. I will make you for definitely.
sir, please don't introduce the dishes. My mouth is watering after hearing them.
Okay. Come this Saturday or Sunday, we can spend with us whole day. You can use the swimming pool, and I will teach you some basic tips on cooking, international cuisine, or plus the Indian cuisine also. I will
Uh,
request Principal Madam Victoria to allow the children to come here, and I'll be very happy to serve them some of my favorite dishes.
I think that's
Practically will
really
be much
very sweet
better.
of you.
Practically will be much better instead
I'll
of speaking.
consider it. Thank you.
Some practical cooking.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything that you would like to see? That we spoke about all the good dishes. Is there any dish that happened to turn out like a disaster, or any other strange food that you might have eaten traveling around the world?
No, the thing is, I like basically everything. Food is never a disaster. Uh, every food is food, so we have to respect the food. Maybe taste-wise is different. The taste, which may be good for you, not good for me, but food is always food, and we have to respect the food.
Thank you, sir. It was really inspiring your journey into food and in your life. Thank you so much. If they have more
Thank you,
questions,
Len.
they will
Teacher
ask you
Ellen,
at
thank
the
you. Thank
end
you,
of the
Madam
class.
Victoria. And
Thank
thank you,
you.
children. I'm looking forward to see you all.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That was
Do you want to stay?
inspiring.
Do you want me to stay longer?
Uh, you want to leave? If you have to leave, then
Any
ma'am,
queries? I'm
can we leave?
ready to answer.
Ma'am, is it okay if he leaves now? We
Yes,
have one more
please.
speaker left.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, we are short of time.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much, Kundan, for being with us.
Thank you, Madam Victoria. Thank you, Teacher Elaine. And looking forward to see you all with the children in our
Yes.
property at Hathi Mahal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Elaine, next.
Yes. Now we have the last speaker for the day, and Lester, over to you.
Hello, a very good morning to Madam Principal. Very good morning to Madam Elaine and all of y'all listening in.
Good morning to
So,
you.
so it's a little tough to address a crowd when you're looking at the camera lens on your laptop, but I'll try my best not to make this awkward. So, my name is Lester D'Souza. I'm from Karanzale, that's in Panjim. And I've pretty much been here all my life. And I don't think I can say I've achieved a lot, but I can definitely say I've done many things.
Repeat.
Because I've definitely dabbled in a lot of things, as many things as I could have. And I'm quite surprised that I am on the panel here. But as I'm surprised, I'm also very, very honored that Ma'am Elaine called me. And I'm very happy that I could be here to talk to all of you all. Well, I guess the theme of today was to talk about your successes and failures and try to inspire y'all. And since I'm talking last, I guess one thing I can take from everyone who spoke would be that everyone has their own path and their own way of getting to places, their own approach. So even if you get inspired today, do not worry about making it somewhere just the way someone you inspire, someone who has inspired you made it. Your story is definitely going to be different, and your approach is going to be different. So don't worry about how you're going to make it. Just remember that you will, because we always do. We always find a place, and it's always according to our definitions of success that we reach success. So don't worry much about the future, although lot of the future is only worrying. Like a lot of adulthood is just extreme amounts of worry, and that's something I'm slowly coming to realize as I'm growing up more and more. Because if you think about it, I'm just a few years away from y'all. Of course, from the place that y'all stand, there might be a very big thing. But I've reached an age where I think completely differently of time. And 10 years time goes very fast. And soon you guys will also be where I am. And I will be where, say, Mr. Frederick or Chef Kundan is. And that's just how the world turns. So that's how it's going to happen. But either way, what I really wanted to talk about more than anything else today was there are different ways of getting to your path. And if, whether you admit it or not, school plays a very big role in what you're going to be and what you're going to do. In fact, every day that you live plays a very, very big role in what you're going to be in the future. Because if there is something you want to be in the future, it is always better to start now. Now, by that, I don't mean leave school and get a job. By that, I mean try to work towards what you're going towards a bit by bit, day by day. And that might take a lot of discipline. And to some people, that's very important. To some people, it's not. And that's fine. It's okay to have your own ideas about things because that's what matters. At the end of the day, it's your own ideas and it's your own life and it's your decisions that you're going to take. But something that is very important that school gives you, even though I intellectually have a lot of problems with the system and whatever, that is something to talk about for another day. And that is something that will change eventually as well. We keep getting better. That's not a problem. But one thing that school gives you is a network. Now, just as Mr. Frederick Noronha makes cyberspace networks to talk about, to discuss, and to work on a lot of Goan issues and Goan assets and facets, school gives you a network of friends that may or may not last you a lifetime. And if it's not school, it's higher secondary. If it's not higher secondary, it's college. Because you're at an age where you have to go out there and make sure you treat people well. That's where we have this whole idea of parents teaching us etiquette and parents teaching us manners. It's so that we treat other people well, because that goes a long way. Now, you may start thinking that what I'm talking about is mainly being nice to people so that you can use them in the future, and it's nothing like that. We treat people well because that's how we want to be treated, and you never know who can help you when. It's not opportunistic, it is just something we do out of our own kindness, because being kind does help you a long way just in itself. And that's kind of, I guess, how my story goes along, because right from school, I've been working with a lot of people. Wrong, but let's let's not delve into the details. But yeah, right from school, I started getting into music. So I would perform in school, and I think one of my best experiences would be playing in our sports day band. We had a small brass section for our sports day band. And to be honest, I was very happy because boys were marching in the heat. I was nicely playing my pieces in the shade. It meant a lot to me back then. And it and it was a real big moment of honor where I could really show off what I had, because I was in the shade while my whole class, in fact, the whole school was in the heat at 2 in the afternoon. But yeah, but from that brass band, I learned a lot of things. I learned how important it is to be a pleasant worker, to just be a person who everyone likes working with, because that's very important. No matter which field you go into, you can ask Mr. Frederick, you can ask Chef Ja. People who are troublesome to work with cause major issues, and that can happen for a couple of reasons. Most people who are who are tough to work with can be people who just have, terrible personalities, who don't like to work with other people. That's fair, that's fine. Some people don't like to work where they're working, and that's why they cause problems. And if that is an issue, that needs to be checked on a very personal level. So there have been many times where I found myself in places where I don't want to be, and even I have been a very unpleasant worker. And more often than not, I've kind of, using the word regret would be a big word, but I've really, kicked my foot in the sand and realized I could have done more if I was only open-minded enough to work where I was working. Because life is going to throw you to a different places in different situations. So if you can keep a few things in mind, no matter what your approach is, no matter what your destination is, I think you'll be flexible enough to make it through in the best way possible. And that's not to say that your life is going to become any easier. It's going to be just as complicated as the next person. But at least on a personal level, you'll be sure of what you're doing. And I think that's what's more important. Because as you grow old, you'll be making a lot of decisions and a lot of things will be changing. And to be sure of that, you need to have people to fall back on. And that's where school comes in. This is your preparation for life ahead. Because life ahead is very unknown. There's a lot to explore. But wherever there is exploration, there is also fear. So when I branched out of school, when I branched out of college, my whole idea of what adults are shattered really quick. Because when I was a kid, I thought all adults are so competent. They're just doing their work so well every day. It is when I grew older when I realized most adults have no idea what's going on. In fact, I would go to say all adults have no idea what's going on, because how can they? At the end of the day, they are just people like us. And that's what made me realize that if I stop holding people to such a high standard and actually look at them as people, it becomes easier for me to understand them and it becomes easier for them to understand me. So now, even in the music field, I work with people way older than me. And there's a huge generation gap, massive. But it is easier for me to work with them and easier for them to work with me because I see them just as I would see anyone else. I don't hold them to a standard way above me, nor do I look at them below me. And that is one thing, to look at a person just as yourself. Because at the end of the day, empathy goes. So I've worked with a lot of people. Even when I worked with Braz Gonzalez and I worked with Gino Banks, of course, I was nervous because they are huge artists. They are artists that have played, have spent decades in Bollywood. They are artists on which Bollywood actually stands upon. They are the artists that made the first move in Bollywood. And playing with them was a little scary. But when we went into the rehearsal room and we sat down and Louis was just, I mean, I don't mean to say this in any disrespectful way, but at the end of the day, Louis Banks was just a keyboard player I was playing with. Because he made it that easy for me to play with him. Same with Braz Gonzalez. He made it that easy for us to perform with him. They never had any issues of how they were important or I was less important. And I think that's what goes to you. I mean, that's the message I want to leave with you guys as well. That at the end of the day, no matter what you do, no matter where you are, remember that you're the same kid that you were today in school. No matter how old you get, no matter how big you are. And that's basically what keeps me grounded. Because when I was in school, I was very grounded. I was one with my class. We were a bunch of boys that went and did crazy things all day. And to this day, I'm the same old schoolboy, but I do 50 odd other things. I've tried a lot of stuff, and I've seen this no matter which field I go in, whether it's stand up, whether it's music, whether it's being on the radio, and no matter what I do, I always find myself with people who are willing to work with me just because I'm willing to work with them. It goes both ways. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have to offer for today. So, thank you. Any questions?
Elaine ma'am, you're on mute, ma'am.
You're on mute. Yeah.
Yes, yes, sorry. I was shifting between the speaker and my earphone. Anyway, thank you so much, Lester, for sharing your experience, your persona, and I think you put it very beautifully to all our students today. Anyone has any question for Sir Lester? No, I think you provided them enough of information that they have satisfied, so they don't have any questions.
No, I have a question right here. I think
Oh, you
in the
do?
chat. Yeah, in the chat.
Ah,
So
okay,
what's
okay.
your best joke in stand up?
Ah, okay.
Well, thank you, Daniel. That's actually a very nice question. And I wish I could tell you the joke, but you have to realize we're in a school, so there is a certain decorum that's meant to be made that a stand-up show may not require. But yeah, sure. For another time, definitely we'll do this soon. So yeah, thank you.
So, on this note, I think I can bring this program to a close. Thank you so much, Lester, Frederick, Maynol, and Chef Kundan, for coming here and being that source of breathing into different ideas. Children, it's not that they definitely will understand what life means in due course, but then it's so nice to listen to different views, different ideas, and as life just takes us, we learn so much down the way. It's never, I don't think we would remember what we learned in history and geography, but definitely what you all shared with them, they're going to take with them through life. They'll never forget how people made them feel and how you have shared your life. So thank you so much. I think Ma'am Victoria has left the meeting. But on behalf of Ma'am Victoria and the management, our Father Anthony, the manager of the school, the teachers and the non-teachers teaching staff, I would love to thank you so much for accepting this invitation, for giving us your time, and for being here with us. So thank you very much, and you all have a great day. Bye bye. Yeah. Thank you, students.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
Bye,
ma'am.
Hi,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. Bye
bye,
bye.
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Thank
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye,
Thank
Frederick.
you.
Bye, ma'am. Bye.